What's up, guys? Today, I am gonna walk you through exactly what you should do when you have your first $1,000 to invest. Even if you are a beginner with no experience, by the end of this video, you will have a game plan to start investing that very first $1,000. So let's jump in. So we are going to cover 3 steps today. Step 1 is to build your foundation. Step 2 is to figure out what you're going to invest in. And step 3 is actually putting your money to work. Step number 1 is to build your foundation. Investing is kind of like building a house. You wouldn't start at the roof, right? You'd start at the foundation, because without a solid foundation, the whole thing is going to come crashing down. And it's the same thing with investing. Without a solid foundation, you're not going to be able to be a successful investor. The first thing you want to do is open up a brokerage account. There are a ton of different options out there. Some popular ones are going to be Robinhood, M1 Finance, Weave. All of these are great options for beginners. I personally like to use M1 Finance because I can invest in stocks, ETFs, and crypto all within the same app. But pick whatever option works best for you. Also, another thing you want to do is set up a separate checking account that you only use for investing. What I like to do is set up an automatic transfer from my main checking account to my investing checking account every month. This allows me to consistently invest over time without even thinking about it. Once you have those 2 things set up, you'll be ready to move on to step 2, which is figuring out what you want to invest in. So now that you have your foundation set up, you need to figure out what you actually want to invest in. At this stage, it's super important that you don't try and pick individual stocks. I know a lot of people like to look at stock pickers as the Warren Buffett of the future, but most of them are just fooling you. Most investors can't even beat the market, let alone the stock pickers on YouTube. Instead of trying to pick individual stocks, what you should do is invest in index funds or index funds, and ETFs allow you to buy a little piece of every company within that fund. This gives you instant diversification, which is extremely important, especially if you are a beginner. A good example would be the S&P 500. This index fund tracks the 500 largest companies in the United States. By investing in this index fund, you are getting a little piece of all 500 of those companies. So, if one company goes bankrupt, it doesn't really matter because you are invested in so many other companies as well. Some great ETFs for beginners are going to be VTI, VOO, and ZS. All of these are super low costs, and they give you instant diversification. So you know you're investing in the entire market and not just a handful of companies. And now we're on to the last step, which is actually putting your money to work. Now that you have your money in your investing checking account and you've had picked out what you invest in, it's time to actually buy. This is such an exciting part because this is when you actually start seeing your money grow. With M1 Finance, I like to use their pie feature because it allows me to split up my money across multiple pies. Pies are just another word for index funds or For example, I have one pie that's just for fun, which I put 20% of my money into. I have another pie, that's for retirement, which I put 40% of my money into. Then I have another pie that's for my emergency fund, which I put 30% of my money into. And then the last 10% I like to throw into some crypto. If you don't know what crypto is, I have another video explaining it down below. But essentially, this allows me to diversify my portfolio and invest in things that I might not normally invest in otherwise. And that's it! That is how you go about investing your first $1,000. Just remember to always keep learning and investing. Over time, your investments are going to start snowballing, and before you know it, you're going to have a lot more than just $1,000 invested. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you can see more videos like this in the future. Hope you guys make a lot of money.